Hey there everyone, April 28th, thanks for tuning in. Let's get right to it and start off with Q's post. As per usual, when Q makes some drops, I report on them. And we had a handful of them yesterday from April 27th. They focused on Flynn, Mueller, and what's going on with the FBI, so let's discuss. The first one here, post 1280, begins by saying done in 30 with a bold 30 in brackets there, looking like to be some kind of marker or something to that effect. And then Q posts the link to a Fox News article on this story that's going around. I'm going to use the Daily Caller's article because the Fox News one just wouldn't load right on my computer. But it says right here, House Intel Russia report, FBI agents, quote, did not detect any deception during Flynn's interview. So this was released throughout the media yesterday. And Q then goes on to say, why would Flynn plead guilty to something untrue? Define testimony, define on record. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn is safe, expand your thinking. So in deducing this, and let's also read the next one too, because it coincides with that. What was completed, and released today regarding Flynn? Quote, done in 30, expand. So what was released was that article we were talking about, how Flynn has basically been, of course, not legally cleared, but, cleared of wrongdoing on the public domain. FBI agents did not detect any deception from him. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Let's ask that. Flynn does, wouldn't he? I mean, he was the head of the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, for a few years there. I'm sure he figured out some things. And now let's talk about the done in 30. Done in 30 in quotations twice. Now, I'm going to do a quick search for a post that came out a month ago, and this was exactly a month ago. So this is what the done in 30 means, is that it was right here, March 27th. Somebody asked Free Flynn, and Anon posted that, and then Q responded to it saying done in 30, house cleaning, White House secured. So nobody really knew what done in 30 meant then, but now we do, and that 30 days was that Flynn was going to be essentially cleared in 30 days, and then the next stage in this plan was then going to be carried out. Let's talk about the next post. Expand who interviewed Flynn, what redacted text messages were released yesterday. Coincidence? Well, who interviewed Flynn? One of the people that interviewed Flynn was the FBI agent, Peter Strzok. And what redacted text messages were released yesterday? Well, Peter Strzok's, right? So is it a coincidence that these text messages would be released from the same person that had all kind of conflicted interests and the same person that interviewed Flynn? Was it a rubber bullet, Q said? Was it a part of the plan that Flynn would be... maybe they knew Flynn was going to take some heat and be targeted for what was going on. Maybe they knew that Strzok was going to be one of the ones interviewing him and that there was dirt on him, So there's just this amazing... A lot of people give shit to the concept of 4D chess, but that's exactly what's going on, and that's exactly what needs to be done to take down these deep state groups is some freaking 4, 5, 6D chess, whatever you want to call it. Lawmakers make public the texts. Lawmakers learned Gmail draft comms yesterday. Lawmakers go hunting. Interesting. So a little more clarity on the Gmail draft comms. I wasn't too aware of this in the previous couple days when I was doing these videos, but I learned a little bit more in that the Gmail draft comms, what that means is that basically a lot of these bad actors within three-letter agencies or government or whatnot, what they actually do is that they have a Gmail account that they all have the password to access, and it's some bunk account that they never use to send emails. They just write drafts, and then multiple people will sign in with that password to read the drafts, and that's how they message each other essentially, because they think that the drafts aren't monitored, just emails that are sent out from the Gmail accounts are monitored. But that's not true. In fact, even the drafts can be found, and essentially the white hats or NSA, military intel or whatnot, they found the fact that these bad actors were using Gmail accounts and drafts to communicate with each other. And now that has been told to certain lawmakers in Congress. Now lawmakers are going to go hunting with that knowledge. And what is the purpose of a laser pointer? Well, to make people's eyes go to one particular direction, right? That's essentially what not just Q, but all the intel that we're seeing come out in the mainstream domain, not all of it, but a lot of this intel coming out is essentially acting as a laser pointer, getting people's eyes to the particular dots to begin connecting them and figure out what's actually going on. Q then says, you have more than you know. Comms understood? Next one, if the FBI found no evidence of lying, why was Flynn charged? Easy to answer. He was targeted because he is doing the great work and trying to take down these bad actors. And of course, they would try and charge him and drum up some bullshit charges, reasons to take him down. Expand your thinking. Q posts a link right here to an article, Michael Flynn charged in special counsel's Russia investigation. 1 and 1 don't equal 2. That's why it doesn't make sense that Flynn was charged if he was cleared, right? Must mean there's stuff going on. And here was the article. I didn't mention it earlier, but that Q was posting or referencing in this post. New text messages reveal FBI agent Sturzak was friends with judge in Flynn case. Sturzak, the one who actually interviewed Flynn. God, it is a true swamp, and these vines are just everywhere. And right here, Q saying these don't match in regards to Flynn being charged, and then Flynn being essentially cleared, saying that he was not deceiving anybody. Riri drops, future proves past. So that's Q's post in regards to Flynn. Now we'll go into Q's post in regards to Mueller. So Q posts some very interesting things, and we'll go into speculation mode in a minute. And it says right here, why was Mueller considered, or essentially Q posts a link to an article saying that Trump considered Mueller for FBI director before he was named to the special counsel. Q is asking us to reconcile, then saying, why did Congress pass a public law limiting the FBI director to a single term of no longer than 10 years? So here's some background to that. Mueller was a FBI director under Bush and Obama Obama, back during his term, actually extended Mueller's FBI director position for another 2 years. So the FBI director, as it says right here, is limited to a term of 10 years. Obama extended Mueller's term for another 1 or 2 years after that. So he was actually FBI director for 11 or 12 years. So this means that he could never have been FBI director again. So why was Mueller considered for the FBI director position the day before he was made the special counsel for this Russia investigation? You know, interesting things. Mueller and Uranium One, Mueller and... Then Q goes post an article. Let's check it out. So Robert Mueller, special counsel Robert Mueller's finances go public. He actually gave up a partnership where he made almost $4 million since the beginning of 2016 to take on the role of special counsel. Crazy. Why would he do that? Comey to POTUS, not being investigated. Rod Rosenstein to POTUS, not being investigated. Mueller to POTUS, not a criminal target. Baiting POTUS? Huh. So, I mean, speculation mode here. I mean, Mueller, of course, being the FBI director during the Bush and Obama years, he's going to be a slave, right? He's essentially going to be a slave. A lot of people are thinking Mueller is an enemy. He's like this completely deep state bad actor that's going for Trump. But why would he be even considered for the FBI director position if he couldn't be one? Maybe this was a message that is a very subtle message that would, you know, take shape further along down the road, being now. Maybe Mueller is a, you know, maybe his blackmail strings are cut. Maybe he's a part of this 4D chess game, playing along, and maybe he knows where quite a bit of the bodies were buried. Of course, being FBI director during Bush and Obama years, right? So that meeting with the president might not have even been about the FBI director position because he wasn't able to be one anyway. Maybe that was the agreement between him and the president. The president says, you know, we will clear you of whatever stuff you've been involved with while you were FBI director. Maybe any kind of skullduggery in his past or whatever the case. Or maybe he said, hey, we'll cut your strings if you help us out and if you fill this right? Stack your investigative team with a bunch of Clinton and Democratic senior level authorities. If you play the game during this witch hunt, if you play the actor position, right? I'm just speculating here. What if Mueller's in on it as well? Trust Sessions, trust Wray. Can we trust Mueller as well? I mean, this Russian investigation is not going anywhere. It's just spinning its wheels. So maybe that's all a part of the plan, you know? Anyway, now we have added Rudy. Can the investigation officially publicly drop POTUS from review and continue? Why did the Podesta group close shop? Why are known bad actors in full support of Mueller? Let's ask ourselves that question and answer it a little bit. Why are known bad actors in full support of Mueller? Maybe they just don't know. They don't know that Mueller could be a part of the plan, so they're going along with it and exposing themselves by doing so. Why did POTUS interview Mueller for the FBI director a day prior to special counsel appointment if impossible to assign position? I was just kind of talking about that. Maybe it wasn't about the FBI director position, right? Maybe it was about what's really going to happen with the special counsel, the 4D chess stuff, bringing him into the plan, briefing him on it. Right down here. Are D's using the midterm as a tactic to win the House? Are D's using ammo to gain majority to impeach? Impeach on what grounds? What facts exist to impeach? House reports POTUS no evidence of collusion. Interesting. Mueller report will contradict per Brennan tweet today. Interesting. R's and D's negative for POTUS. It's a good point right there. It's not a Republican-Democrat thing. Both sides of the aisle are corrupted as heck. A lot of bad actors in each. Let's see here. Comey release of memos to obtain special counsel? Another special counsel. A second one, per se. Special counsel attack POTUS witch hunt. Special counsel Comey RR state POTUS is not under investigation. Flynn pleads guilty to none committed crime. Why would he do that? Maybe to assist with this investigation, to tell the Russia investigation what's really going on. Say, okay, I'll plead guilty. And under the terms of that guilty plea is him assisting with the investigation. Well, if he knows where the bodies are buried, what if he's telling Mueller, Maybe Mueller is playing 4D chess with him. Interesting. Anyway, let's go on to the next post. These are long ones. I'll actually probably just do a Q analysis in this video and then do all the articles in a video later today. Let's see. Cohen raid by FBI. Public context. Payment to Stormy. Special counsel and FBI raided POTUS attorney to pull Stormy Daniels' payment info? Interesting. Maybe that raid was for a good reason. Who Stormy Daniels' payment info? I'm sure that leads to some bad actors. And Rod Rosenstein signed off, so maybe Rod Rosenstein's being put into submission to go along with the plan, Or maybe his blackmail strings were cut. Who knows? Let's see. What other docs were collected? How many places raided? Raid on the President of the United States Attorney for payment details regarding private case regarding Stormy Daniels. Think logically. That wouldn't just happen if there wasn't something going on behind the public scenes that we're seeing. How do you introduce evidence into investigation legally? So they used some other kind of reason to get this particular info, and they go, oh, wow, that's not what we really went in for, but this is relevant. We need to investigate this. That's how it's injected legally. Who has everything? NSA does. Methods which info collected obtained, admissible in a court of law. It shouldn't take more than a week or two to come to a resolution on the probe. Of course, inserting Rudy Giuliani, now having, at least on the public level, public admission, talks between presidential administration and Mueller. Think resignations, quite a bit of them. CEOs, public officials. If POTUS was in a weakened position, about to be impeached, resign, or indicted, why would they resign? Why would all these bad actors be resigning if the plan wasn't proceeding as needed right now? Why are we here? Public forum, world watching. Sharing of intel to bad actors. Interesting. Because when Q posts things on the chans right here, the bad actors are watching as well. And when they see that certain things are making it out to the public that they weren't prepared for, they're going to start making mistakes and trying to cover their ass and whatnot, and then opening themselves up, exposing themselves, right? That's one of the purposes. Interesting. And it says here, not confirming special counsels on team. Well, you don't want to confirm that, because then that would, wouldn't it harm the plan if they were to confirm that? And now, last few posts right here, focus on the FBI for now. Look at all of these bad actors who were fired. Look at all these bad actors whose power were removed. Conspiracy, think about the above, only the above, get the picture. The reason we need to think about that, and in the very last post, shed some light on that. Who makes the arrests? FBI, DOJ. Can you make arrests with a crooked FBI senior team? No, you can't. And right here, it says, you know, this Anon right here is waiting for the arrest. I'm really sick because we haven't had the arrest yet. And I know a lot of people out there commenting on these videos and on Twitter and whatnot. I'll believe it when I see the arrest, yada, yada, yada. And Q is essentially saying right here, you idiots, we're not going to get the arrests yet because we have to still cleanse the FBI and DOJ. Like, it's such a long game plan. There's so many layers to this, and everybody is getting their panties in a bunch, so impatient, waiting for these arrests. It will happen, but understand, there's things that have to happen before the arrests, such as the FBI cleanse. So trust the plan, Q is saying. Step back, remove arrests. What do you see? Just removing that single idea, the arrests need to be had out of the picture. Then you see how much things are progressing with the resignations, the sealed indictments, the just all the crazy stuff going on. You can't not say that things are not progressing. To throw in like a triple negative there, you know. But that's the point, is that things absolutely are. And then Q says, peace on Korean Peninsula isn't big news. Should we drop a hashtag Moab on that? Timetable shift next week. So it looks like there's going to be a lot more news stories coming out. And peace on the Korean Peninsula is absolutely big news. A lot of people don't even know how to react to that. I saw CNN articles. One of them said, we should maybe think about praising Trump. And on the same end, it's like, oh no, Trump had nothing to do with it. It was all the, Kim Jong-un's sister or something like that. So a lot of bad actors, deep state propaganda machines and whatnot, they have no idea how to even act with the Korean Peninsula unification issue. So that is absolutely big news. And it's going to open a lot of people's eyes. I mean, shoot, isn't Trump even in talks for like a Nobel Peace Prize now? And what he would actually deserve it to, as opposed to Obama. So there's so much psychological importance to this Korean Peninsula topic. But anyway, that's pretty much all that I wanted to go through in regards to Q's posts. They were long and involved, so I'm not going to go through all the articles I had planned in this video. I'll be doing that tonight. So there'll be a couple videos out today. And that's all for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you soon.